Hi, everybody. We are live here today with Procare Health as our sponsor. My name's Brenda. Brittany should be joining us here in just a little bit. And I'm so excited that you're here. It looks like Kathy says hello. Melissa says hi from Alvin, Texas. Maria, hello. Who else is on the call with us? Say hi. We'd love to hear from you. Um, and let us know if it's your first time being here or if you've been on the calls before. Love to know that as well. We are going to be talking about meal prep tonight. And I'm really excited because um it's something I know I have struggled with in the past as far as like preparing, planning, making sure that things are all where we need for them to be. And it's so important because our choices that we make each day lead us to where we go. And on one of our recent calls, was listening to somebody and they were talking about it probably was on our call yesterday. One of you shared with us something about you know um, being consistent. And our speaker yesterday we had on our live events was Rachel Blanton, and she was talking about it as well. Showing up every day and really just being consistent. It's not about perfectionism. It's not about being perfect. It's about just showing up and doing the best you can, showing up and having the right mindset, being in the right I guess thinking process, is what gets us to where we want to go. And being trying to do the same things that help us move forward. And some of those things are, about the food choices we make. It determines how we feel, it um determines how our body processes the food, all of that. So, you, Erin. Erin says, "Look at your hair; it's beautiful." Yes, I actually curled it tonight. This is this is something because I had lost quite a bit of hair this last year, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something with what I got. So, thank you for saying that. And Melissa, I'm glad you're here with us. It's our first one. Oh, Brittany's on the call. I'm going to go ahead and invite her to come on screen with us. Here we go. She's going to join us here on screen as well. And then we'll kind of just get started. Let's see here. I have all kinds of handouts too tonight. So there's a little call to action button. It says Procare website, and we'll share those as we go along.
Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm a little late. Well, Brenda knows this, but I've been traveling a lot for Procare Health. I'm really excited about it, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired. So bear with me tonight, guys. And also, my husband should be home any minute from work, so my dogs might start barking, and I might have to mute you for just a little bit.
Well, at least you're here with us.
But I'm really excited because I feel like I haven't been on one of the support groups in a while. I feel like I missed last month too.
Brittany, it is echoing.
Oh. I don't hear an echo. Hold on. Let me try my headphones.
See if it helps.
Okay, what about now?
Test. It's
what about now?
Test.
I can hear you on my headphones though.
Okay, I think it's better. How about everybody else out there? Can you still hear an echo?
Yeah, comment and let us know. Let me try turning my volume down. Maybe that's the issue.
Making sure I don't have anything open. Okay.
Is it just me echoing, or can you hear yourself too, Brenda?
Let's see. Once Brittany got on, started to echo. Still echoing. I think it's better, Brittany. I really do think it's better. Letitia says better too. Anybody else still hear an echo? I really think it's better though.
I turned my volume down. Maybe that's it. Okay.
It made a difference, so the earphones did. Okay. Getting better. Good deal. Okay, well, let's get started because we have a lot to share. This is probably one of my favorite ones as far as work groups that we've developed because it has so many great ideas. And honestly, it really helps to be able to stay on track with having some ideas because I kind of struggle with that. Does anybody else struggle with that? You get to the grocery store, you start planning your week and just having ideas can help. And that's simply part of the meal prepping process. So,
Hey Brenda, I'm gonna mute myself really quick because you're right. I just realized that we need to get that thing that we give to them.
we
Can you
get
hear me?
surprised at the end of the call. Yes, go ahead. Go right ahead. And I'm going to go ahead and
So
get
I'm gonna
started
set that
here.
up real quick, and I'm gonna mute myself just for
Okay.
the time being. But keep going. I'm sorry, I did not mean it.
No, it's all good. Okay. Well, let's get started, guys. I am going to be sharing my screen. I have a little PowerPoint here that I'm going to share. And so here we go. I'm going to go down and you're going to see it down here. Meal prep made simple. So, and I'm going to actually, I have two screens. I'm going to get on my other screen so I can see if there's comments from any of you and I don't miss them. Because you guys, this is really meant to be really interactive. So on the side here, most of you should be able to see it, or if you're on your iPhone, just so you're aware, um, there is an app called Crowdcast. If you're ever on your phone and you're listening while you take a walk or while you're driving or while you're just whatever, you can download the Crowdcast app and it will be on your phone and you can see these presentations like that. This is recorded, so if you have to jump off early, you can always come back and you can always use it as a reference too as well. So, gonna get started here. Oh, hello, Yvette. Looks like from Michigan, and hello, everybody else that said hi. So we're gonna get some. This is just me. For those of you guys who don't know us, it's your first time joining us. We'll tell you a little bit about each of us. My name is Brenda, and I am a bariatric surgery nurse. I worked as a bariatric coordinator for about 8 years in a clinic and had weight loss surgery myself back in 2013. It's been a wonderful journey. Like it helped me understand what people go through, and because I was actually going through it myself, got to see patients pre-op and post-op. Got to do a lot of the education and teaching. So I try to bring some of that in, as well as I have a history background in nursing. You know, I worked in the nursing in a hospital setting for um, a long time, ever since I graduated high school, and even before I became a nurse. And I worked in the ER emergency room for about 20 years. I worked in quality management before, and also then, like I said, the weight loss surgery clinic. And um, part of my love or passion is for holistic measures. While working in the ER, I just realized there was much more, to healing the physical body, the emotional body, the mental body, than just medicine, and became interested in healing processes and received a certification through Healing Beyond Borders, something called Healing Touch. So I kind of dove into that and always been just really interested in personal development and making ourselves the very best person we can, because as you're your best, and as you're transforming into that best version of yourself, which you actually already are at some point, but as you're doing that, you help other people to be their best because you rise up to help other people rise up. And so that's kind of always been my goal, to just help other people with that. And Brittany, I don't know if you're still setting up. Do you have a chance or time to be able to? I'm going to stop sharing, let you introduce yourself too.
Yeah. I'm almost finished. For some reason it had me restart my password, so that's why it's taking so long. But if you're new, I just wanted to say welcome. Usually I'm on these support groups with Brenda that we do. I don't think I was last month because I was feeling under the weather. So, but I'm back now. I'm really excited to be back, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys because I really do miss it. This is one of my favorite parts of my job. But anyways, how I got connected with Procare Health, I started with them. It's been It was a year in September, so it's been a little over a year now. Brenda and I have done these support groups and these live events for probably a little over a year, probably I think September or October is when we had our first one of last year. So we've been doing these for, as Brenda said, for a long time. We've got a lot of topics. We talk about a lot of good stuff. Sometimes most of the time it's bariatric related. Sometimes I think it's stuff that, everybody goes through, and it's important to talk about it. But I started off as doing marketing for Procare Health, just doing some of the digital marketing, so, creating content for their social media platform pages. And then just recently, actually in, I would say, June or July, I have now started a new position as an account representative. So as I mentioned before, I've been traveling quite a bit, and that's because of my new account representative job. I'm trying to reach out to programs and get to know dietitians and just get the word out there about Procare Health's products and how affordable and great they are. So, if you guys, this is sponsored by Procare Health. We're not really going to talk about our products tonight. We like to keep the support group about support. As Brenda said, it's supposed to be interactive, so make sure you're asking questions if you have it. But if you do have any questions about Procare Health and their products, I am also on the call to help assist with any of those questions. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like we had a couple more people comment.
Shout out to Erin, yes. My favorite Procare rep. Yes, Erin is amazing. She's kind of like the office manager, but I hate even giving her that title because she does so much stuff. I probably wouldn't even be able to get my job done without Erin. No, not kidding. She's been with Procare Health since the very beginning too. So she is she's a great resource, and she knows her stuff. So.
Yeah, you know what, Brittany? I'm gonna just because of that, I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna go to my Facebook page, and I'm gonna show what Erin looks like here. Show our whole team. So can you see?
Oh yeah, that's us at our Christmas party. Yes.
We went to the St. Louis Blues game. Whoa, I got it really big. We went to the St. Louis Blues team and had our Christmas party this last weekend. And this one right here in the middle is Erin. Here's Brittany. Here's me way over here. Here's Nick, who's our CEO. And this is my daughter, Madison. Some of you may know her. She's new to the team. She's doing a territory like Brittany, being a territory manager. Amanda, who also answers our phones, and you guys probably have heard from her. She's a territory manager. And Jennifer over here, the same. So these other people are all just wonderful people who make everything work behind the scenes.
Yes, they do all kinds of other stuff that make basically getting your products to you on time in a good manner. That's what all of those people do. Yes, Liz, Brian, Brenda, Chelsea, they're all wonderful. We're really lucky to have each other, and we have a great team. And for anyone curious, the reason we went to the Blues game is because Procare Health is actually based in St. Louis. Not a lot of people know that.
So that's kind of a fun thing. So,
oh my gosh, did you see my face?
This here, and the funny thing is this is one of the videos did for lasting motivation, and it's like Brittany looks very motivated on that picture.
Oh my gosh.
We figured out that we needed to take photos before we actually screenshotted stuff. So yeah, that was just wonderful, wasn't it? Oh Lordy!
I swear I was happy to be there.
And somebody found our ask a question button, which I have not even.
Oh, good.
So I'm gonna go. Somebody asked. I'm gonna press the start answering button here. So anything that you guys want to ask a question, please put it in this ask a question feature, because what happens is we can timestamp it on the video. So if you have to leave and you have to come back and you haven't gotten your question answered, you go right to it. So I'm going to press start answering, and the question is, I thought this was food prepping. I must be in the wrong forum. It is. It is about, we're talking about meal prep made simple. I don't know if maybe I said something else earlier. I apologize if I did. But here you are. You're in the right place. So thank you for being here. And for those of you, some of you guys work for or from programs that require you to do so many support groups. I want to mention this. We send out a list to specific support groups, the program managers, and let them know that you guys attended. So if your program manager is part of our team that we send out to, they will usually get that in about a week. Because I usually allow for all the replays to come in. Sometimes people come in and listen to the replays. So be aware, we will be sending that out. If your program does not is not part of that, you can ask them. I'd be happy to send it to them too as well if you're required to do so many support groups prior to surgery. So I want to bring that up. Anything else, Brittany, before we get started? Anybody else have anything?
Nope, I just submitted that surprise that we have though, so it's all set up. We're ready to go, so we can jump right in.
Okay. I'm going to be sharing my screen once more here, and I'm going to go to my PowerPoint real quickly here. And right here, meal prep made simple. Okay. I'm going to try to make it as big as possible, guys. And we're going to go to the very first slide. And this is kind of what we're going to be talking about. So we're going to share 10 ideas on simple meal prep, okay, to make your life easier. We're going to share a few recipes, really good recipes, and we're also going to share a special bonus, food swaps that taste so good. So that's the main goal of this whole thing. We also did a live event on food swaps that kind of goes along with the handout that we're going to be sharing, so we'll share that as we kind of get to that too as well. And so really the very first thing, we're going to start with number one, and that is keeping an ongoing reusable shopping list. So what I do is I like to keep something kind of by my refrigerator or by my, it's kind of like a little desk area that I have in my kitchen. And some people use their notes on their phone. I know Brittany has talked about before that she actually keeps an ongoing list, like at maybe Walmart or one of the shopping centers that she uses. Is that right, Brittany? Like you just go in and start adding foods and then have them later delivered. Was that you? That was.
Yep. So I use something that's called Instacart. It really blew up when the pandemic hit because I feel like a lot of people, they were scared to go out and even get groceries. So I started doing that because my husband was at home quarantine and I was still working, and this was before I worked for Procare Health. But it just was easier for me to have it on the app and pick out the foods, because not only but does it keep like a running list, but you can also, whenever you're out of something, and let's say you're someone like me that goes shopping every 2 weeks, I usually buy the same stuff. I don't stray away from anything unusual. I mean, every once in a while maybe, but not super often. So it's nice because the app houses everything that I've purchased in the past, so I can just replace my same order. And it's almost, it works out great for me. And you can do pickup or you can do delivery. Recently, I've been doing the pickup, but if I'm in a time crunch and I just don't feel like leaving my house, then I'll do delivery too. It's really nice, though, because it also tells you your total. So if you're someone who's trying to stay within a budget, too, you can be conscious of that and figure out where you're at with that. And we actually did a live on cutting your grocery bill in half. If you guys are interested, I can get that link for you.
We have all kinds of different ones that we've done in the past. For those of you who aren't part of our, who aren't following us on Crowdcast, you guys are welcome to do that. We can actually share a link for that, because if you follow us, anytime we do an event, it kind of gives you a little notification about 10 minutes before. I'll copy that and share that too while we're talking. And that way you would have a notification. If it's something that interests you, you can watch it. Not everything is for everybody, but There's lots of topics that we've done. We've done over 50 of these now. Of not just, so we do weekly lives and then we do support groups. And really they're somewhat similar. Our support group following is a little larger than our weekly lives, but the content's all there and it's always available. So this little link I just gave you, if you open up in a separate tab, you can follow us. You can also subscribe to any other lives that we've done that are on replay. So, or any upcoming ones too as well. I also want to mention here at the bottom here, it says meal prep containers. Procare does make little meal prep containers. Having the right containers, I'm going to open that up, see if it'll let me here. There we go. It's nice to have little meal prep containers that will go either in the dishwasher or, that you can have. For bariatric surgery patients, it's nice to have something that you can, I'm zooming in here a little bit, that you can have like a little divider and put like your whole meal in there. So that's whether it's Procare Health or whether it's a different company that you decide to get a little containers, that's part of the shopping process too. So I'm going to go back to my slides. I got so many different things open, and kind of go from there. I can actually, I'm going to stop.
Kathy, I'll get you those handouts right now. Hold on just a second. But yes, they are on the website to answer your question. I'll post the link for you guys though, because I'm sure probably majority of people want those. All right. I'm sorry, Brenda. I don't mean to keep interrupting you. Go on.
No. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and paste this link for the meal prep containers too, in case anybody later is interested. But whether you're interested in that or you're interested in different, being prepared means not only food, it means having, whether it's food containers, whether it's Ziploc bags, whether it's something that you can store the food in, freezer bags or whatever. I also have fell in love with a vacuum packer, and that is something that has been wonderful for me because we actually do a lot of our own. I live on a farm and we do a lot of our own meat. My husband and my son hunt, so we have a lot of other kinds of meat, just besides our beef that we have, beer and all of that, and we vacuum pack all that. And then in the summertime, my garden, I vacuum pack a lot of my stuff because it keeps it so fresh, and I have stuff all year round that way. Besides squash, carrots, tomatoes, so many different things that you can freezer pack. And one other thing too, I want to talk about freezer packer is it's really helpful. Like let's say you have leftover like spinach. Spinach is something that gets bad really quickly. Whenever I notice something's getting kind of bad, I'll put it in the freezer. Or bananas, when those are kind of getting bad, I'll freezer vacuum pack those. So just a little helpful hint. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, Brittany, and go back to our slides. And I'm kind of just jumping back and forth to make it like a little bit more, not just doing a little slides here. The next thing is meal prep your meats. Okay, so we're going to go through different things. We're going to go through meats, vegetables, fruits, carbohydrate type things, and then we're going to talk about some recipes. So here is an easy little way to meal prep different kinds of chicken. This photo was taken off the internet. But I thought it was so cool because, look at this. You can actually take like a cookie sheet and take tinfoil and kind of roll it up and do different sections and do different
make dividers.
Yes. So this one had sriracha, barbecue, and honey mustard. So different flavors. You could do whatever. And then, take that, let it cool for a little bit, take it and put it in usable one-person meal selections, or if you have a family, you could put it in for however much your family would normally eat for a meal. And what I like to do is freeze that so that you can easily just defrost it and have it ready, or you can just put it in your refrigerator if you're going to be using it right away. So I know I have had friends before that have done their meats for the whole week. Sometimes I'll just, whenever I'm making a meal, and I don't know if you do this too, Brittany, or if anybody else out there does this, what I like to do is I like to make double. Like if I'm cooking hamburger or if I'm cooking chicken or anything that requires some time involvement,
Mm-hmm.
I'll make double and then I'll freeze half of it.
Yeah, we do that a lot, especially in the winter time. It's just the two of us. Well, I guess it's just the two of you guys too. It's just you and Jeff.
Yeah.
But I sometimes get a little carried away with my crock pot recipes, and I make too much soup. Or soup's a really big one. And my husband makes chili, and he'll make enough of it to feed like an army. But what's nice is those all, like you said, they all freeze well.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I'm pretty sure I think we have chili in the freezer right now.
Me too. Anybody else out there is a chili fan? Because it really is. And really, actually, I feel like chili is a pretty healthy type of thing. You can use, I freeze a lot of my tomatoes so they come straight from the garden, but you can use tomato juice or tomato paste, hamburger. Beans have a lot of fiber.
Really, you could use ground turkey if you're worried about the fat of red meat. I know some people prefer turkey because it's a little bit leaner. I would think it would taste pretty much the same. I've even eaten venison chili before too, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But we live in the Midwest though, and there's a lot of people that hunt, so I feel like it's not that weird to have venison chili. I don't know. Comment if you don't think it's weird.
Actually, I have that in my refrigerator right now. And I like to make it half and half venison and half.
I know a lot of people that do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like more spicy, but it's more of like a zest. I don't know. It's really good.
Yeah, and venison is so lean, like it hardly has almost literally no fat. That the hamburger kind of does add a little bit more fat because otherwise it's almost too lean to be able to. I shouldn't say too lean, but it really doesn't have as much flavor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bob
I'm
said
gonna go
venison
ahead-
chili is the best.
Oh,
It is.
hey, Bob.
It is
Do
the
you
best.
hunt too, Bob?
He must be in the
No.
Midwest
He
too.
does.
He's a Midwest guy.
Okay, I am going to go back and, yeah, you guys add to this. Let us know, like different hints as we're going through this. This is what it's meant for. We're here in a support group and we're meant to support each other. So you guys might have some ideas that we don't. This is actually me preparing some chicken here. I'm going to go to the view slide and do it as our slideshow so you guys can see this a little better. So basically here, like preparing your chicken, I usually will put it in a big pan. I'll pour some Italian seasoning dressing, or you could just do olive oil. I like to use a little water with it so it adds a little extra moisture, and then salt and pepper. Or you could do just olive oil and a little bit of garlic or onion salt and pepper. Looks like Scotty says, have you ever tried elk chili? I like it more than venison. No, I haven't.
I haven't tried that either.
That
I
sounds
wonder.
really good, though.
I don't know. Yeah. I wonder if it's like a tougher meat. I wouldn't think it would be. I don't know. Let me know how that tastes, Scotty.
Yeah.
I'm curious. It sounds
Yeah.
good. I'm just curious to what it tastes like.
I didn't mean to do that. And Bob says, I do not. My brother does. Ohio boy here does. Oh, Ohio boy here. He's in Ohio. I have had elk steaks and they were delicious. You almost like it's sometimes hard to find those type of cuts of meat if you're not a hunter. Just being able to go to the grocery store and buy them because they're kind of a specialty. But if you hunt and you get an elk, oh my Lord, talk about a lot of meat. There's a lot of meat.
Yeah, they're massive.
They're big.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go to my next slide. So the next thing we're going to talk about is vegetables. And I've been thinking a lot about this because I'm finding myself here lately that I haven't been eating as many vegetables. And we went on a trip last week, and while we were traveling, unless you make it like an intention and you actually go out and get, when you're traveling, I don't know about anybody else. Brittany, you were just traveling. It's kind of hard sometimes. I think fast food restaurants and all of that, unless uh, it's weird because a lot of the fast food restaurants took out salads off their menu. I have no idea why because of COVID and stuff, but
Well,
sometimes hard getting
so
veggies.
it is hard, especially when you're traveling and you have, or I wouldn't even say traveling. I'm sure we have moms in this support group. I mean, you guys are freaking rock stars. You're busy all the time. And sometimes it's hard when you're so busy to not be conscious of sometimes of the decisions that we're making when we're eating. And also, we sometimes, like you said, there's no vegetables that are available. So, I mean, where I was just at, I was in Syracuse, New York, and then I was in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I loved both places, but you could definitely see that Scranton is a little bit more rural. There's not as many different things as far as food goes until you get to the next bigger city. And most of those places are like McDonald's and, Arby's, and those were like the big two ones. And of course, they don't have very many vegetables to choose from. So, but then in Syracuse, there was a lot more options. And I was actually surprised. The hotel I stayed at had a really nice menu, and they had quite a bit different variety. Like, I mean, you could get a burger if you wanted, but you also could get like a big salad if that's what you were craving, and that's actually what I was craving last night, so that's what I ate.
So you did get vegetables in, so that's good.
I did. In Syracuse I did. In Scranton, nope, there's not much there. So I just took what I could find.
And it looks like Scotty says, we're in the PNW and my husband hunts. He got an elk in the freezer and he didn't get a deer this year. Elk is less gamey than venison, but the same leanness.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Bob, my husband grew up in Batavia. I wonder, where's that?
I would guess it's in Ohio, because he said he's from Ohio, but I'm not 100% sure. Brenda and I are actually going to be in Columbus next month.
Yeah.
So let us know if you guys are in that area, too.
We are going to, there's a retreat going on there, a bariatric retreat. Ohio, yeah. There's a bariatric retreat in Ohio, and we can actually find the information on that and share it with you guys here in just a little bit if anybody decides to join and be with us.
I'll pull it up
and you guys in person.
And you can.
They're still selling tickets. It's just a one-day event. Yeah,
and tickets are only $100. So why don't we do? I'll share that at the end. I'll pull up the flyer and show them, and kind of show them all the cool speakers that are going to be there too. Brenda is one of them, of course.
Like I said, we get to meet you guys in person. Well, I'm going to go back to talking about these veggies. And what I want to say, so I have 4 different things written down here. First, veggies, cutting veggies in bulk or buying bags of frozen veggies. So sometimes when we purchase veggies, how many of you will just let them sit in your refrigerator? I've been there. I'm guilty of that. Like carrots or cucumbers, sometimes tomatoes whenever I have those off the vine. Sometimes sometimes it is helpful to cut them up if it keeps or washing them, but it does sometimes cut down the amount of time that they're good for. So you kind of got to weigh both things. I like to buy the baby carrots already cut up and already clean so that all you got to do is open them. They come in those little single serving bags. That kind of helps. But frozen vegetables, I find, is a wonderful way of being able to just take out what you need and being able to cook it pretty quickly. So I like frozen vegetables a lot. I buy a lot of frozen vegetables. Canned vegetables are good. The only thing is if you're sensitive to salt, sometimes those will have a little bit. You
got to be careful about which ones you buy.
And then chopped vegetables, and kind of I was talking about this: carrots, onions, celery, peppers, sugar snap peas, cucumbers, radishes, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower. Will last up to a week when refrigerated and sealed in a plastic bag or container. So you can use those for, a little extended period of time. And then avocados. One thing that I like to do if you end up picking, you're laughing. Did you have something that you wanted to say, Brittany?
Just, I hope you guys can't hear that. My dog is, she found a squeaky toy and she's scratching at the door and wants to come in here so bad. I've been gone all week.
Misses
She
you.
misses me. Anyways, sorry, continue. That's what I was giggling at. Sorry if you can
Oh.
hear her squeaking.
Um, Going back to
You're talking
avocados.
about avocados. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this last week, we had gotten several avocados, and we had, when you eat an avocado, I don't always eat the whole avocado. I'll cut it in half
Oh,
and
I
maybe
never
eat part
do.
of it.
They're so filling, I feel like.
Yeah. So you can actually dip it in fresh lemon or lime juice, and it will help preserve it. And then put it like in a plastic Ziploc bag or something so that the air and it doesn't oxidize as quickly. That will help. So that will also help with apples. Um,
Mm-hmm.
as well. You can keep those from oxidizing by putting them with lemon or lime juice. Orange juice also, like if you have an orange that you cut up and you squeeze, or you just take regular orange juice, all of those things help preserve um, apples. And then frozen vegetables last much longer, but may take a few extra minutes to warm in the microwave or on top of the stove. So, I mean, just kind of knowing that you have them available, but depending on, the thing is you got to think about what your schedule's like and what's going to be easiest.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany and I are working remotely from home for the most part. A lot of you might be doing that now, because a lot of you might be working from home because of the whole pandemic, or you may be working still, at a place somewhere where you have to go to every day, and you either bring your food or have to, or you go out or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
just kind of pre-planning and knowing what's easiest for your schedule. Did you want to read some of the comments, Brittany?
Sure, Scotty. I feel ya. Mine's clingy. She's talking about her dog. She said that
Oh,
hers misses her when she's gone only a few hours. Yes, mine's the same way. She's very clingy, but I love her. Um, Kathy, this is brilliant, actually. She says, every Friday I plan my next week's menus and shopping list. I make time to clean up any fresh produce that's still left in the fridge, and she uses those to munch and snack on throughout the week, which is a really good idea. I, you know, I would like to pretend like I'm really good about eating the vegetables, but I think sometimes I just overbuy everything and I forget about it. And especially avocados, Brenda, I don't know about you, but I only buy like one or two at a time because it never fails. I always forget about them. And
yeah.
when you buy them, they're not ripe yet. So then you let them sit on the counter for like a day or two. And then before you know it, you forget about it and you got a too soft avocado.
And that is not good. I mean, it's good if it's soft because you can mash it and mix it up, and stuff for avocado dip, but it's if it's too soft, it kind of gets. And I got a couple more. I'm going to share a couple more slides on
Yeah.
vegetables. So the next thing I wanted to show you is just kind of putting them in the oven. And one easy way to make vegetables, and I think, yep, actually I'm going back one slide because this is kind of leading up to my pictures here, is roasting vegetables. So this has become a favorite of probably Brittany and I both. We've done some cooking episodes on roasting some things that you can roast. Asparagus, okra, mushrooms, cherry tomatoes, carrots, cauliflower, onions, potatoes, parsnips, almost anything. And I'm going to kind of sneak onto my next slide here and kind of show you a way to do that. I love using parchment paper, and I've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you could freeze. Denise says you can freeze avocados. I had no idea. It's great. No,
I didn't know that
I did not
either.
know
I would
that.
think that the texture would be weird. You
I
know what I
wonder,
mean?
Denise, tell us what you use them for after you freeze them. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
dip. Might be avocado dip. But basically, to roast vegetables, you just use a very high temperature, like 400. And I like using parchment paper, and you just basically put the vegetables cut up, cleaned and cut up on your parchment paper. You can use pepper, garlic powder, salt, This little sprayer here is my go-to. I absolutely love it. It has olive oil in it. And then I love sprinkling with Parmesan cheese. I don't know, that just gives it an extra little zip and flavor. That's
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that I like to do. But you can roast it halfway before you add the Parmesan cheese. You wouldn't have to add it right away because it may get a little bit,
Burnt.
um, yeah.
And
Although burnt Parmesan cheese is not bad either.
if you guys like spice, another thing that I've recently been doing for my veggies, and it's a surprising combo, but I really like it, is basically it's the same stuff as what Brenda has listed, but I add in red pepper flakes or crushed red pepper, and it adds just a little bit of spice or a lot of bit of spice depending on how much you add to it. And I also put just a tiny bit of lemon juice, especially on broccoli. And I know that that combination sounds kind of strange, but trust me, the spice and the lemon zest, it's really, really good.
I hadn't thought about that. That does sound really
Usually.
good. And it looks too like Denise kind of, she's going back to the avocado thing. She
Uh-huh.
said, I would like, I usually just like regular avocados in my smoothies and in spreads. It's like having fresh avocado. Huh.
Oh, I'll have to try that. I have
I bet
two actually right now on my counter.
I bet it would make a smoothie like, I don't know if you put it in like a protein shake. I wonder if that's what she's talking about, or
Frozen avocados are great for mashed recipes, guacamole, add to deviled eggs, spread on veggie coins for appetizers or small bites. You can also get a bag of frozen at Costco. Oh, nice. I wonder if like they're sliced already and they're frozen slices of avocado. Because I just don't. It. Do you put them in the freezer, skin and all? I don't know. Sorry, I can't wrap my brain around this. This is why I'm like struggling. Because I feel like the skin would get kind of gross once it thaws, and it's gonna be mushy and weird inside. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'll get back to you guys. You
we'll see. We'll see. The next thing I want to
learn
say
something
too
new every
is,
day, though, because I did not know that.
you absolutely, and hopefully everybody else on here is learning something. You guys are sharing with us. Like, we want you to. It says frozen chunks without peel. That makes
Okay, that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Here is a little idea, which I'm so sure that a lot of you have heard of, is mason jar salads. So
Mm-hmm.
the salad does not get soggy. You take a glass jar, and here you can kind of see I'm going to make this a little bigger. Um, see, basically you take a jar and you put your veggies in there. You put the You can put the dressing at the bottom of the jar, and then the sturdier produce like cucumbers and peppers, leafy lettuce, kale, sprouts, or arugula or greens, quinoa on top. And then you can also use a little paper towel on the top to help absorb the extra moisture. So all you have to do is dump and enjoy. Now, if you're making these where you want them to last several days, 2, 3 days, you could leave the dressing completely out and just add that separately. Or not add any dressing, just eat the vegetables like that. So anybody else ever try mason jar salads? Let us know. And Brittany, I know there's a comment. You want to read that?
Yeah, so Denise said, I was told you take the avocados and wrap them in plastic wrap and then aluminum foil, and then it looked like a bag to store them in the freezer, and you just let them thaw out, and you cut them into slices like you normally would. Yeah, kind of like the ones from Costco that are cut up.
Probably keeps them from getting brown too. I wouldn't think. I mean, I know
I
bananas still
never.
get brown when you put it in the freezer, but a little bit.
I have a confession to make. I've never been to Costco. Never been.
Never been. Goals, right? Goals. Um,
We have the
I
Sam's Club is what we have. I don't have Costco over here.
I'm gonna share my screen again. Yeah, I love Sam's Club. I haven't been. There's not a Costco close to me. St. Louis area probably has one. Um, And the next thing we're going to talk about is fruit. And I'm going to keep going because actually we are at quarter till. We usually try to keep these to about an hour, hour and 15 minutes or so. And we do have several other things to share. So we're going to just keep moving on along, scooting, scooting. So fruit. Um, so you have fresh fruit, we have frozen fruit. There's lots of ways to do this. You can wait. Like an orange doesn't take but a few seconds to peel. So you wouldn't necessarily have to food prep that, but I have seen people do that. Apples, we talked about putting a little lemon or lime juice on them. You can do that with bananas as well, to keep it from getting brown, especially if you're making like a fruit tray. My husband loves to buy these fruit trays already made up and just keep in our refrigerator and eat them all week. He snacks on them all week. He loves fruit. And it's easier than having to, take them out and wash them and do all that. They're already ready. So that's an extra way of food prepping, but you're not having to do it yourself. It's already done. But some other things would be like strawberries, pineapple, pears, grapefruit, blueberries, grapes, cherries. You can also freeze those for kind of a refreshing snack. I know a lot of people will do that with grapes. Sometimes grapes are one of those things with bariatric surgery. Some people can tolerate, some people can't, with the extra skins. I think the further out you get, the easier it is to be able to digest those kind of things easier. It's probably just early on that sometimes fruit's a little harder.
I'm happy you said that because that was on my brain to bring up. Depending on where you're at pre or post-op right now, just keep in mind that this is meant to be for someone who's, what would you say, at least 6 months, Brenda? Maybe even a year post-op, probably.
Yeah.
Well, some of these things. I shouldn't say the whole meal prep, but just be careful with fruits because, like Brenda said, sometimes skins can really cause discomfort, and we don't want that.
Absolutely. And
I love grapes, though. They're like one of my favorite fruits.
And they're so good frozen like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is kind of power foods. Now, this may be something further on out. A lot of times bariatric programs won't recommend nuts for a little period of time right after bariatric surgery. But there's also other things that we're talking about besides just nuts. The picture kind of just depicts that. We're talking about power bars, maybe like a protein bar. You just kind of got to be careful because sometimes those are really high in carbohydrates. I like to go back by the pharmacy section because that's usually where they have the highest protein bars. Mozzarella cheese, yogurt. Those are some of my favorite go-tos in between meals. Certain kinds
especially
of
Greek yogurt too. It's got more protein in it than regular yogurt.
Yeah. And there is, I know most grocery stores now have such a wide selection of Greek yogurt. I know Walmart has probably 10 to 20 different kinds of yogurt. It's pretty good. So, and you can make your own little snack mixes. When we're talking about almonds, walnuts, cashews, pecans, pistachios, cranberries, even dark chocolate, you can make your own. They have them made up for you at certain places where you can buy already made up things. But the good thing is if you do make them up on your own or if you buy it pre-purchased, either way, you can make your own little snack portions where you know how much you're getting. Because sometimes some of these things, it's easy just to start eating and it's hard to stop. Not knowing how much you eat and what an actual portion size is. So they're really good for in-between meals. I love them because it fills you up. Chobani Triple Zero Yogurt.
Kathy. It's like you read my mind. I was actually just about to post the link for that yogurt because it's perfect. It has, I think it's 15 grams of protein in it in like per serving, and we're talking about food prep. It's already prepped for you in little containers you can buy. It's either a 4 or 6 pack, I forget, forgive me, but they have all kinds of different flavors. And sometimes if I'm running late and I'm on the go and I don't want to stop and get, a breakfast that is not really that great, I'll throw some berries in my triple Chobani Zero yogurt and maybe just a little bit of granola, nothing crazy, and it's really good. It's something
That's probably
sweet,
one of my favorites too, as
something
well.
crunchy.
There's actually one that's, I mean, it is higher in carbs, but it's a yogurt that has like a little topping on it. It's a yogurt. I'm trying to think of the name of it. But they have like key lime pie, they have strawberry cheesecake, they have all different flavors, and it has like a little topping on the top.
I
But it
think
does add a little few
it's
extra calories.
Chobani, maybe.
I think
Maybe
it is actually. I
Chobani.
think it is.
Yeah, I used to eat those a lot too. Honestly, they just don't have them at where I go shopping. I don't see them very much anymore. And the Oikos triple zero Greek yogurt is only 10 grams of carbs. We were talking about, carbs and that, so I thought I'd bring that up.
Yeah.
And there's 0 grams of sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 fat.
Yeah.
Definitely try it if you can't find it. It looks like you can buy it at any grocery store. I usually buy mine at Target.
And Kathy says too, adding frozen fruit.
Berries,
is a great
yeah.
way. Yeah, and we're going on to my PowerPoint slide, the next one, which kind of brings us into smoothies too. You can take yogurt and you can take frozen berries and make a smoothie as well. So you can pour the smoothie into a mason jar or an airtight container and freeze it for 1 to 2 days. It may separate a little bit depending on what ingredients you make, but you can also pre-portion or pre-measure and freeze in ice cube trays or Ziploc bags, and then put them in your blender when you're ready. That's another little easy tip or trick. Trick you use if you're making smoothies, whether it be with protein, supplements, or with yogurt and berries, or both. You can mix all 3 of those things together. And I'm going to go ahead, just because we're kind of getting shorter on time, and here's Brittany. I'm going to share some of our handouts. So the first one here is an egg muffin, and then we're also going to be sharing another recipe. I'm going to skip on to the next slide, which is high protein meals, chili lime chicken, and an egg roll bowl. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and I'm going to be sharing on some of these handouts that we're going to be sharing with you guys here. So,
do you want me to I'll pull up the link real quick too while you're doing that. Sorry.
Yes, absolutely. This is where you guys can find all of I'll copy and paste that link, but we have links to each of these. So on our Procare website, www.procarenow, here at the top is different little tabs. This one right here says About Us, Support Group Handouts. That's exactly where I am. And if you go down here, there's one of them called meal prep tips and recipes, and that's what we're going to be pulling up. So this first one is an all-in-one document, and all of these things that we've talked about today are on that handout so that you guys have them available. Okay, this next handout is some of the ideas just kind of summarized and put into another second handout. So that is just kind of summary. And then this third handout here is our recipes that we're going to be talking about. And let's just start with the first one that Brittany was talking about, and that's egg muffin cups. And basically, it's super easy. Like she showed you that little sheet pan. Brittany, I'm going to kind of turn over here to you.
Yeah.
Give you a couple minutes to kind of talk about this recipe.
Yeah, so you can make them in, I know some people that have made them in like muffin tins, and that's exactly what I used. I know some people that have done it like on like a cookie sheet instead of just putting it in individual cups. What they'll do is they'll scramble all the eggs and scramble all the ingredients together, and then they'll dump it out on a cookie sheet, I guess, or like a cooking tray. And what happens is they spray it at the bottom first, or I've even seen people put parchment paper or foil down so it doesn't stick, and you just bake it, and then you can cut it up in pieces, almost like you can cut up in squares, I guess is what I'm saying. So depending on how big you want to make the portions, but me personally, I like the muffin cups. It's not as hard to clean up, in my opinion, and the portion controls are, for the most part, they're all the same size, so you kind of know what you're going to get if you're trying to plan out your day. Also, it's easier to track your macros if you're somebody who wants to do that, like how many calories, carbs, fat, protein, all of that. And I kind of wanted to make sure that these recipes, why I chose them is I tried to make sure that they're as protein packed, but also something that's not super hard to make and takes a lot of different ingredients. So the eggs are nice because you can put whatever you want in them. You can put, me personally, I like to put bacon in mine. You could use sausage. You could use no meat at all. You could cut up even just nice deli meat ham if you're not trying to, cook too much, and throw it in there. And I also like to put spinach, cheese, bell peppers, garlic, salt and pepper to taste, and yeah, that's basically it. You just put it all together, scramble it up, and then pour it in each of the muffin tins. And Brenda, I'm sorry, I don't remember in the oven. So you preheat for 350 and you bake for 20 to 25 minutes. That's what I couldn't remember.
Yeah. I'm looking here.
Oh, and you can freeze those. We were talking about freezing stuff. You can freeze those, and they last in the freezer. I think it says at the bottom how long. I think at least a couple weeks. The freezer. Maybe it doesn't say.
4 or 5 days?
These cups will stay good in the fridge for 4 to 5 days. So if you freeze them, it'll be even longer than that. And to be honest with you, I just wrap them up in a paper towel and I pop them in the microwave for about a minute or two. And I mean, it tastes like I just cooked it. But the paper towel is nice because you want it to absorb some of that moisture. If you don't use a paper towel, they will get kind of, I don't want to say runny, but there's just more water that comes out of them.
Moisture.
Yeah, it's not just the frozen ones, but anyways.
Yeah, and it looks like this is a separate comment, not related to what you were just talking about, but kind of going back. Bob says, probably at least 6 months post-op, I really like Epic protein bars, meat-based, as I don't care for the grain-based ones. We'll have to try those. I don't know that
I've never heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always looking for new protein stuff for patients, so send it our way.
Absolutely. And I'm just real quickly just going to take like a minute for each of these. You guys are going to have access to these recipes if you're interested. The next one here is an egg roll. It's called egg roll, but it's without, the heavy fried.
Like the wonton. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's, So it's just a healthy alternative.
And basically you have a lot of the same things that you would have in an egg roll. You can use ground turkey breast, or you could substitute for ground chicken, ground beef, or ground pork. It has onion, sesame oil, rice vinegar, minced garlic, ground ginger, soy sauce, coleslaw. It has matchstick carrots, green onions, and salt and pepper. So this here serving size is 1.5 cups, which may even be a lot, maybe for someone out there. It may be a lot less than that, depending. But it has 30 grams of protein if you add that hamburger in there or that other whatever kind of meat, and only 5 grams of fat, 12 carbs, and 205 calories. So,
and actually, it says coleslaw on there and matchstick carrots, but if you find sometimes there's something that's called like a Chinese coleslaw. It's pre-made. If you buy that, sometimes it has the green onions, the carrots, and the slaw all in one, so then it's even easier.
Yum. It's making me hungry thinking about it.
I'm hungry too. Yeah.
The next one here is chili lime chicken, and basically this is just a variation. A little adds up some extra flavor in there for your chicken. So chicken, chili powder, lime juice, cumin, garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and then also cauliflower, rice, corn, black beans, cilantro, green onion, and lime wedge. So you're heating your chicken up, and then while the chicken's baking, you prepare your cauliflower rice and brown that, and then drain and rinse your corn and beans, and dice your green onions, and slice your wedges, mix your cauliflower rice, and all your ingredients that you've kind of already made up, and then your chicken together, and then you season it. So This is a wonderful thing too. You could, if you kept your chicken, I think separate, or you could put it together. I think something like this would probably likely last several days, 3 to 4 days in the refrigerator. But I really feel like it probably also could be frozen.
Yeah.
Some things, some things that you could try it in a Ziploc bag or freezer, the vacuum packer. Any of those things might be a great way. And you could just take it out and just heat it up and um, make it delicious all in one. It may even be good cold. I mean, some of those things actually are pretty good even cold, like if you put it in the refrigerator. And then we've already talked about your other recipes, so I'm going to stop sharing there. And what I want to do, Brittany, we're kind of right at the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and um, see if I have anything else. I do want to mention we have a bonus. It's healthy food swaps that taste so good. Brittany's typing in our little gift to you guys, and we'll kind of explain that here in just a moment. I'll let you explain that, and then I'll give them their bonus also as well.
Sure. So I just wanted to, it technically is an hour. We are going to stay on here just a little bit longer because I want to share some good info with you guys about the Renew. I wanted to put the discount code in our chat box, and that's what I just put in there now in case anyone has to leave right now. I understand, we try and be considerate of your time. It is a little over an hour now, so I wanted to put that in there to make sure you guys could take advantage of that if you so wish to. If you're new and you don't know what that is, at the end of our support group, we like to give you guys a gift and thank you for just coming and being here with us. And this month it's going to be Cheer 10, since it's, the holiday season. And that'll get you 10% off your entire order with Procare Health. It does expire usually at the end of the month, but I'm feeling nice, guys. Really, I saw it, and I guess New Year's Day is a Saturday, and it's not a good day for it to end, so I just pushed it into the 5th. And Bob says, thank you so much for these meetings. This is my first live one. Well, thank you for coming. We loved having you. It's fun and informative. I've been exclusively a Procare Health vitamin patient since my surgery 5 years ago. Great. That's what we like to hear, Bob. My blood work has always been perfect. Happy holidays until Erin. Bob from NASA says hello. I'll tell Erin. I'm not sure. Sometimes she pops in on these, so she might be here. But if not, I'll definitely make sure I tell her in the morning. Thanks for coming. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. And thanks for always supporting Procare.
Yes. And that kind of gave me, thank you for reading all that. And we do appreciate you, Bob. And I love when you guys comment. It makes me so happy. All of you that are interactive and stuff, because it makes these so much more fun. Bonus, healthy food swaps that taste so good. There's a link there. It's also under our support group page that we talked about earlier. And it goes with the event that's called Healthy Food Swaps. So I posted not only the handout, but the event that you guys can go and watch and that type of thing. So I just want to summarize real quickly too here, some of the things that we talked about. We talked about meal prep by keeping an ongoing reusable shopping list, okay, or an app, using an app on your phone, or actually Rachel, who we did a call with yesterday, talked about using some services like HelloFresh or Dinnerly or Blue Apron. Some of those things, you don't have to meal prep yourself. There's people out there, companies out there that will do this for you. You can buy stuff that's already meal prepped at the store, okay? But having an idea of what you want is helpful. So that hopefully tonight helped you with that. Number 2, meal prep meats, or buy meats that are already prepared, that you can just zap in or have them available. Number 3, keep some frozen vegetables on hand or raw vegetables, and food prep those or have them prepared for you. Number 4, roast vegetables with the same cooking time so that you can have those available for you for easy foods. We also talked about mason salad jars, which was, making your salad in a jar. We talked about frozen fruits and regular fruits and having those, handy. We talked about superfoods and snacks and protein bars. We talked about smoothies in a flash, having something prepared and already ready for you. We also talked about muffin tins for breakfast options, and we talked about a couple high protein meals. Those handouts are also available. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change our call to button. Instead of saying Procare website, I'm going to change it to Procare handout. And that way you guys can have a direct link for that.
While you're pulling that up, do you mind if I share the Renew stuff on my screen?
Oh, yes, 100%.
Or, I'm sorry, were you going to share something, or are you just sharing a link?
No, go right ahead.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay, so if anyone is interested in this event that I'm about to start talking about, please don't be a stranger. Let me know. I will get you the link so you can get some tickets. As I said earlier, it's actually, I said Columbus because I think that's where we're flying in, but it's actually going to be in Findlay, Findlay, and I think it's about an hour and 15 minutes maybe outside of Columbus. So it's called Renew 2022. It's January 29th, and yes, that is next month. It's going to be one of our first events that we're doing for the new 2022 year. So we're really excited about that, and it's really nice because the person that is putting this event together, her name is Danielle, and she means so much to both Brenda and I. We had the pleasure of meeting her in person at the bariatric retreat that we went to in San Diego last month. Yeah, that seems like it was a while ago, but it was last month. And we met her and a bunch of other great people that are part of this community. And if you're someone that has an Instagram account and you're someone who loves social media, I would highly, highly, highly recommend to go follow her and just see what she has to offer, because honestly her content is so hilarious, and she's very she's like a breath of fresh air. I feel like she's very real, and she speaks from the heart. So she's somebody I consider a friend. I mean, we are partners, but I consider her a very good friend. But anyways, she is putting this event together. This is her first event, so it's kind of a big deal. It is just one day. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and $100 gets you registration. It gets you in for the day, and I believe they're providing lunch too. So here's one of the first keynote speakers that we have. Let me zoom out just a little bit. I zoomed all the way in. This is Maddie Sparr. She's another great person to follow on Instagram. If you're not already following her, I would highly recommend. She is actually partnered with Procare Health as well. She's one of our affiliates. We absolutely love Maddie. We've done several live events with her. If you were talking about meal prep and recipes, she is somebody that has a bunch of, just so many recipes. And she is really good at making it all efficient and making it easy, I feel like. So I would check her out for sure too. And this is going to be her handle that you type in on Instagram. And then Samuel Tambo. So Sam is actually a dietitian in Chicago. I'm really excited to get to know him a little bit better. I have not had the chance of really getting to know him, but he's also been a big support of Procare Health. He loves our vitamin chocolates. I don't have them in here. Of course not. But our calcium chocolate bars. So he's actually going to be a speaker there, and he is also a great person. Not only can he help you with meal prep, but he's really great with portion control. If you're somebody who, Scotty, you said that you make too much food, maybe check out Sam's page and see what he can do for you, because he's great. And Sarah, she is a Berry Nation therapist. She's part of the Berry Nation group. I'm really excited to meet her. And I think it's either Catlin or Caitlin. I'm sorry, I've not met her yet, but she's a bariatric nurse navigator, kind of what Brenda used to do, how she used to be a coordinator. So I'm excited to get to know her. I'm sure that'll be interesting. And of course, Brenda, look, there's you! That's our girl! She's, Brenda, I don't even know what you're talking about. Tell them what you're going to be speaking about. Or do you know yet?
Mindset tune-up is what I'm going to talk about.
Mindset tune-up, okay.
Uh-huh.
And then here's the agenda. The rest is for sponsorship, so I'm not going to show you guys that because that doesn't concern you guys. You're just going to pay the $100 and it gets you in the door. You get to meet all these great people and listen in on the workshops and listen to Brenda speak too. So, okay, wait, was it sharing with them this entire time or no?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Scared me.
I wasn't looking because I was trying to get the information for them for this Ohio sign up. I got that link right here. And
oh, you did find it? I was going to say I can try and find it.
And then I also posted Danielle.rny on Instagram, her page where you guys can go and look too. And it looks like Scotty says, I have 4 adult kids now, so cooking from 6 people to 2. HelloFresh gave me some great recipes in the perfect size for both me and my husband. I ate
That's what I've heard, yeah.
a portion, and he eats the rest. If someone can afford it, I would highly recommend trying it just for the portion sizes alone. It really helped me. Yeah, it's hard, like with having children and then them all going off to be on their own. It's just me and my husband, kind of like Brittany. She's her and her husband, and cooking for 2 people or even 1 person can be somewhat hard sometimes. So
I always make too much food, and I didn't even have 6 people. I don't have 4 kids, Scotty. I have no excuse. So
now I'm gonna type our sponsor,
Procare.
Sponsors site where you guys can use that discount. It's www.procarenow.com, and there's just all kinds of good stuff if you haven't been on there yet. Basically, Brittany said we weren't going to talk a lot about products, so we're not going to do that. I am going to show you here real quick the website, what it looks like, and show you where you can get a free sample though. Right here at the top, there's a little button that you can click. It says free sample. And you guys can click that, put your name in, your address. If there's something special that you want, you could put it in the message. Otherwise, they're just going to send you a bunch of free stuff. So,
and it's completely random. So it could be if you requested a free sample and you got a certain flavor of something. I mean, you could request that and get the same thing. You could get different things. So if you have something in mind, I would put it in the chat box for sure.
Yeah. So I don't think I have anything else. Does anybody else have anything? Oh, we're still good.
I'm good. I do not.
Okay. Well, we love you guys. We will see you at our next event. It looks like I'm going to my event, so I can just pull it up real quick and see. We are going to be talking to Amanda Clark on December 22nd, next Wednesday, for Portion Perfection with Holiday Tips. And she is one of the most amazing women that I've ever met. I love her so much. She's from Australia, and got to meet her at several of the bariatric conferences. I think you'll love her too. So that's our next one. And
yeah, I'm excited to meet her too.
Yeah. And then our next 2, Brittany mentioned, we're going to be talking to Sam coming up on January 5th, and we're also going to be doing a live too on collagen and why do people use it. That's December 29th. So check out our Crowdcast events page. I can post that again. And that's all I have. How about you? Anybody else have anything?
That's all I got. Everybody's talking about how awesome the chocolate is, so if you haven't tried it, get on the website. It's seasonal, by the way. So, yeah. I feel slap happy. Can you guys tell that I'm like running on like 4 hours of sleep?
She hasn't gotten much, but we appreciate you being here, Brittany.
Of course. I really did miss you guys, so it wasn't... The only reason I was worried is because I wasn't sure if I was going to be on phone with this lady for a while or not, but she didn't answer, so...
It always works out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, everybody, thank you, and appreciate you all being here. I hope you enjoyed. So, until next time, we'll see you later. We always post these also on YouTube, so it'll be available there as well later, but you can always come back and watch the replay at any time. So,
yep.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye, everybody. We'll see you next month.
Yes.